Hi everyone, this is Kelly Cahoot and I'm here for CatScrappiness.com. Today I have a Valentine themed card to share with you using the HoneyBee stamps, little pickup stamp set, and coordinating dies. I love this stamp set because you can use it all year long. It has so many different occasions and themes included in the stamp set. You can use it for birthdays and Christmas and Valentine's Day. There's pumpkins and all those things that you can add in the back of your little pickup truck. So I stamped the truck and the little hearts, the group of hearts, in Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I'm coloring it with my Copic markers. So I colored the truck with two different blue-greens. The lightest color is BG10 and a darker there at the bottom is BG13. I wanted it to be a little of a truer color at the bottom and then like it's faded and a little bit older at the top. And I super sped this up. I did a lot of Copic coloring for this card, and I didn't want you to have to sit through the whole thing, so it's sped up, and I just went over those with those two colors until I got the color and the look that I was going for. So I pulled out a bunch of my cool gray markers, C00, C3, C5, and C7, and I'm going over the windows, the tires, and the underbelly part of the fenders and the truck. And I also did the little bumpers on the front and back of the truck in some cool gray colors. So for the windows, I didn't want it to be just white on the card, and so I first went over them with a C00 and then brought in the C3 just around the edges and then smoothed all that out again with the C00. That way it wasn't just white like the paper. I took a Y000 and colored the headlight. And now I'm moving on to the hearts. I used R22 is the lightest color, that pink color at the top, and then R27 is the medium, and then R29. I started out by coloring almost the whole thing in that R22. I wanted to start out light because I tend to get a little heavy-handed and it gets too dark. So I started out light first and then just built up with the R27 and R29. I made sure to go in and add a lot of darkness where the pile of hearts they're kind of laying and piled on top of one another. So all those stamped lines I deepened up with the medium and the darker color. And then got darker as they went towards the bottom tip of the heart. And I didn't worry about coloring outside of the lines on the bottom there because that's going to be tucked down into the bed of the pickup truck. So I have the coordinating dies here, and you can either twist those apart, or I find it easier to use some little metal or wire snips to snip those out where they're connected. And so I snipped the little pickup truck off, and then I need to cut out all the little accessories that are in the middle of the pickup. I held the dies down with some Post-it note and ran those through my die machine, and now they're ready to go. I am building up the background for my little pickup to sit on with some Lawn Fawn perfectly plaid Christmas paper. The kind of minty green went perfectly with the little pickup truck, and then it also brought out the red in the hearts. And I'm using a white gel pen there to just go right around the edges where the dies left the little white edge to make sure I cover up all the little spots where I may have colored outside the lines. So I'm going to prepare a little background for my pickup to sit on, and I am using Distress inks in tumbled glass with my Clarity stencil brushes. And I'm going to brush that on just what's going to be the top side of my card to make it look like a light blue sky, like my little pickup is outside. And I love these stencil brushes because you can go as light as you want, or you can go over it and really deepen up that color. And this border die is also from Lawn Fawn, and it's from their new Valentine border set. There's a scalloped border in that set, a heart border, and then I love this one that it's arrows all pointed in one direction. And I have those pointing in the same little direction as my truck is going to go. I'm going to use some foam tape to adhere the truck to the card front. And I'm going to stick that down there like the little truck's just driving right off the side of the paper. And I'm going to snip off the nose of the truck. And I almost hate doing that. It makes me nervous every time I snip off something that I've spent so much time coloring. So I'm going to use my ATG gun and just adhere those hearts down into the bed of the truck. And then there are some hearts included in that little pickup stamp set. I wanted to make it where it looks like the hearts are flying out of the back of the truck as it drives down the road. And so there is a heart outline, and then there's a solid heart. And I'm stamping those in Lawn Fawn's Chili Pepper ink. I ended up changing the hearts just a tiny bit at the very end, and I'll show you that later. But I used the HoneyBee Stamps Sending You Sentiments stamp set for the greeting for this card. So I'm going to stamp that Sending You, and I set that up in my Stampaholic stamping tool, and I'm stamping that down in VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I stamp it a couple of times to get it nice and dark, and I'm just running my fingertips over that so it gets a good stamp. And then I also stamped love on the pickup door. So it says Sending You, and then the pickup says love. And this is where I start to alter the hearts a little bit. So the hearts on the back of the pickup I stamped in black. And so I thought the hearts that were coming out of the truck also should be outlined in black. And so I did that. And then I also added a little bit of shadow with those cool grays underneath the pickup truck. I just used that C00 and the C3. And now I'm taking the clear Wink of Stella glitter brush pen, and I'm making those little trails behind the hearts where they've flown out of the back of the truck. And you're going to get a look at the finished card here, and you can see I've now colored in all of the hearts red so they all match. You can see the little glitter trail, and I also added some glossy accents to the tires and the windows to give those a shiny appearance. And here's everything all finished. All the supplies can be found at catscrappiness.com. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.